just wanted to give some quick thoughts on basic income because this is a subject that's coming up more and more. Even Canada right now is discussing the possibility of a guaranteed income for all of its citizens. Well, first of all, it does work to within a certain context. The belief is that if you just give a guaranteed income, people won't work. In all experience, that has not been the case. People have still gone to work. In fact, some people have even been more apt to work knowing that they're going to get a livable wage to do so. And previously this was experimented with in the 1970s by Canada, and it was proven to be a success. People did not choose not to work and sit around and do nothing, but it actually was successful in increasing employment. Now, I look at it as another symptom of first worldism, and that is, if you give people a guaranteed income, any kind of perceived spark of revolutionary potential in the first world will be gone. Because how can you really claim to be exploited when you're literally not employed? And I think that's a very good point that leftists in the first world have to consider. Already, there's no significant revolutionary potential as it is. And then if you go to this degree, even that significant portion might even cease to exist. And that's an important point to keep in mind. I mean, a lot of the accusations thrown at third worldism is that, well, they're employed, so therefore they're exploited. Of course, they leave out things like the ability to be paid over the value of their labor, as was theorized by Lenin, when it comes to imperialism. But they won't even be able to claim that if a universal basic income comes into existence. And this is something that, frankly, capitalism is going to have to do. If all of the jobs are going to be exported to, third world countries, or to developing countries, and there's not going to be jobs here, and at least not livable wage jobs here, they are going to have to do that in order to keep up demand, and frankly, to keep the economy from collapsing. So, what we'll have is the best possible scenario under capitalism for first world people, but third world people will still be burdened with the creation of value that the first world will still extract. In other words, there couldn't be a better explanation, a better symbol for first worldism than first world people fighting to not have to work at all to get a guaranteed income, while shifting the burden of value creation, which already has largely been shifted to third world people. Because we know people in the third world aren't going to get a guaranteed income. That's not going to happen, because that's not going to be affordable. Somebody has to do the value creation. There has to be an unequal exchange somewhere in order for profit to exist. So this basic income, for it to exist under capitalism, there has to be an unequal exchange somewhere. And that has always been labor. Labor was paid less than it actually created. And if first world people aren't even doing the labor anymore, or are blatantly doing less of the labor, or doing stuff that doesn't even create labor anymore, just like service industry jobs, all of that's going to get shifted to the third world. And the third world may have to end up being exploited even harder to make up for those profits, to deal with things like the tendency of the rate of profit to fall. So I think that's going to be the next big question. How is a guaranteed income going to end up affecting the economic relationship between the first and the third world? And that's something that I actually do want to take a look at and want to explore in depth. And I think that could make things very interesting. Thank you for watching. If you like this program, then please head over to my Patreon page and set up a monthly donation. It's your donations that keep this program running. Also, if you would like, please rate, comment, subscribe, and share in various social media.